Yo, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go, baby. Looking like a green day tomorrow. Looking a little green, fellas. Ladies and fellas. As long as nothing crazy happens from now until then, it's looking pretty good. Are we ready? You guys better get ready, baby. It's a Sunday night, and we are pumped. It's like the day before Christmas when you're 8. It's great. Yo, yo, yo. Ladies and gentlemen. Ready, let's go, baby. ING the legend in the building. Let's go. It's looking a little bit green. We got some big earnings. To go over. Ain't that the truth, baby? Ooh, how was your guys' weekend? Give me the scoop. Some people are going on dates. Some people are going to support AMC on those dates. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing to see. To be honest with you guys. Woo-hoo-hoo. Let's go, baby. Oh, looking to make some trades? Are we looking to make some trades, baby? Whew. Nasdaq's up a little pretty penny. Looking good, looking good. Let's go. Just 1 second, guys. Just doing something. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. All right, let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. I have a date tomorrow night. You taking her to AMC? Let's go. What do you think about the BSTX that passed on Friday? Do you think this will bring more transparency to the markets? Oh, yeah, certainly. The SEC rule, is that what it stands for? BSTX that passed on Friday? The rule about what's it called? Transparency to private funds. Yeah, that's certainly going to bring some transparency. I mean, because if we look at like what happened to Archegos, they were a family fund, but they moved, I mean, so many stocks. Like, Viacom's one that a lot of people lost a lot of money on. Because they seen it running up, they seen it doing its thing, and they all jumped in. And then, I mean, it's going to take years to get to those prices again. Like $102. This was crazy. I mean, they were probably buying it, this whole way. Held on too long. Stock just dumped. They were forced to sell and got clapped. So, yeah, I do certainly think it'll bring more transparency to everything. And I mean, that's what we need right now. We can see the option flow is interesting, though, for the longer term. Yeah, big names reporting: AMD, Amazon, Facebook, PayPal, Ford, ExxonMobil, Alphabet, UPS. What I'm really looking at definitely got clapped, bro. They clapped. What? Oh, shit. Can you guys hear me? Mic check, baby. Woo! It's Sunday. Watch you all the time. Just want to drop the old GME hype music video here. Replace GME with AMC and everything is true. Lifts me up. Oh, we'll take it, baby. I think they all run together. I think they're like, that was an analogy for that. Like brother, like sister. Like they're equal. They gonna both do great. GME is interesting, though, with the whole NFT platform. Could be really good. Could be good. Most of the earnings kick off Tuesday and Wednesday, though. UPS, Exxon. And then Wednesday, you got Abivai. You got, I believe, Facebook. Facebookian. Is that the third? Yeah, Facebook is an after hours. Abby and pre-market. Tuesday, Google, AMD, Starbucks, GM, and PayPal. All in after hours. Wednesday, Facebook, Abivai. Facebook after hours, Abivai pre-market. Thursday, Amazon, Ford, and Snapchat in after hours. I'm actually looking at a trade playing Facebook and Snapchat because I've seen what's happened to ad rates, making videos. And I'm sure you guys have seen other people talk about this, like Meet Kevin, Graham Stephan, Andre, all of them. If you guys watch any videos in general, you've seen everybody talk about the ad rates down like 35%, like the worst levels in years. And I think Snapchat or Facebook might allude to lower guidance, and that could be a rock solid trade. But futures are just ripping, which, I mean, this is a much needed, deserved bounce, one would say. I mean, right under the 200-day. I think if we open up at at futures levels right now, we would break. God, we'd be so close to the 200-day. We might actually be above the 200-day. It's so close. 442.42. That's an interesting number. Yeah, we're like 47 cents off the 200-day moving average. Probably not a good sign we didn't break that, but could be good. Facebook usually moves big, so that'll be interesting. They will keep shorting AMC with the new rules. I mean, they will keep shorting it. It from what I know, only applies to private funds. I mean, the same rules apply for public funds. And private funds, they only have to report quarterly, you know, twice a year or just once a year sometimes, depending on the size of the firm and all that. God, the Heavenly Father in the building, baby. There we go. Also possible that they will keep kicking the can for several more years. I mean, I don't think for several more years. I think there's either two camps here. You're in the, markets could do whatever they want, go up or go down, but eventually the markets are going to bounce, and the stocks like small and mid caps that are undervalued at this point, are going to rally off of that. Momentum is going to come back into the markets. Goldman Sachs just reported that the cash hoards of investors, the amount of cash on the sideline, is at the highest levels since March of 2020. So obviously, there's a lot of people with money on the sidelines that want to buy these stocks. And ultimately, when it comes down to it, what you guys really need to know out of all of this is that not all stocks are going to return. Not all stocks are going to do well. If a stock is a shit business, bad fundamentals, it's not going to recover. Does AMC fall in that category? Absolutely not. And if you have been subscribed to this channel, you have heard my thesis. I'm wasting my air saying this because you've already heard that, right? But one of the most bullish things, in my opinion, about AMC on a more fundamental basis, because sure, you can short a stock all you want temporarily once fear is high. I'm even seeing Facebook for earnings right now, if you buy the 1 week out, is pricing in. You can get a call at the same price on the same strike for a put at the same price, but the put, you have to have a 15% drawdown to break even. The call side, you only need a 10% pop to break even. So point is that if a stock is worth $10, it could trade at $5 for a while. It could trade it under that, and that's not AMC's fundamental valuation, more like $20 per share in my opinion, and probably in between 18 and 20 given forward expectations and all that. That changes all the time, different can of worms. But if the valuation's at 18 to 20 and the stock's trading at 16, or 15, sure, can it trade there for a while? Yes, but will shorts be forced to cover and drive the stock back up to its fundamental valuation? Yes. Any extra on top of that, it is where the glory of AMC comes into it. Everybody knows the trade. Everybody and their moms, grandparents, cousins, uncles, aunts, fucking coworkers are going to be buying the stock because they know about it. I mean, shit, they searched AMC more than stimulus check. I still can't get over that. I can't get over that. I knew so many people that all they talked about was the next stimulus, the next check they were going to get. But AMC was searched more than those people combined search stimulus check. You can't fucking tell me anything else. You can't tell me anything else. But like I was saying, one of the biggest reasons I'm so bullish on AMC, I could rant and just rant. There's a lot of shit I gotta get off my chest, okay? But one of the reasons I'm so bullish on AMC is because the efficiency of the business. So the estimates on the high end are $5 billion for revenue. I could pull up the numbers right now. Who cares? I've studied them so many times. I can give you the numbers. The revenue in 2018, 2019 was $5.5 billion. The cost of that revenue, the amount of money AMC had to pay to bring in gross revenue of $5.5 billion was $4.5 billion. 4.4 in 2018 and $4.5 billion in 2019. So what happens when AMC now gets back to its pre-pandemic levels at the higher end range estimate of $5 billion? Well, the cost to achieve that revenue, to bring that gross revenue in, is substantially lower. Something crazy happens when a business is being run for 100 years and there's all of this fat on the business. Best way to describe it, just things you don't need, things that aren't making you money, that are losing you minimal amounts of money. But with a big business like AMC, it starts to take a big toll. That's why AMC was a very inefficient business before. They had a very low profit margin. They had a gross profit margin of like 10%. And the bottom line was ridiculous. You don't like 2%. You don't even want to hear about that, right? So the business now is 30% more efficient as far as the numbers that I am looking at right now. They're estimated to bring in $5 billion revenue. It's going to cost AMC about $3 to $3.3 billion of revenue, or of cost, to achieve that revenue. So what kind of gap is that? It went from $1 billion before, now it's at almost $2 billion. Now it's at $1.8 billion. So there's a much bigger gross margin. Essentially went from 10% to 20, 30%. So that's what is so exciting about AMC. But sure, can they short the stock down in the meantime? Hell yeah, they can. Why wouldn't they? I mean, I could rant all day about that, though. The fundamental case is just, it's there at these prices. Futures are doing good. Congratulations to the Bengals and Rams. Dude, you know what's fucked up about all that, Edward? Right? I grew up watching Stafford, Calvin Johnson, hoping they were going to go to the Super Bowl. And some years they did good. Others they went 0-16, but never went to the Super Bowl. The first year he's away from the Lions, I believe the first year, about to go to the Super Bowl. Crazy. Green Friday, Red Monday. I mean, it's not like a super strong move right now. So we could certainly come down by, if you look at these numbers at 2 or 3 in the morning, they're probably going to look a lot different. Look, Tyler the Plunge Protection Team to the rescue. Let's go, baby. YOLO. YOLO, yeah. I mean, at these prices, it's not even YOLOing. But I feel you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Thank you guys for tuning in here on your Sunday, beautiful Sunday night. Buying 200 more shares tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. AMC short interest over 20%. Let's go. Let's go, baby. And the short interest, really? I mean, let's talk about the real short interest. The real short interest, when you account for everything else, I think it's ignorant to say 20%. I'm not calling you ignorant because, but some of the, analysts and people that have just talked down on AMC, no. There's obviously a lot of manipulation that happens here, a lot of hiding of short interest. I mean, Melvin Capital, of all people, said that now they place trades and short stocks so they don't have to disclose their positions. That's what they said. Literally, I can't make this up. That's what they said. So they're shorting stock and don't have to report it. So true. Stafford is going to the Super Bowl. I'm effing loving it. Oh, he is going to the Super Bowl. Like, confirmed? That's crazy. Chris, win Lambo, baby. Let's go. You're a baller with 86 watching. Well, I appreciate it. I love all 86 of you guys. And you will become very wealthy. Very, very wealthy. Lifelong Bears fan here. I feel your pain still better than being a Lions fan, though. Yeah, I think, what is it? Is it the Bears or the Browns? The Lions? I want to say the Jets, or is it the Jaguars? There's 4 or 5 teams that have never been to the Super Bowl. The Lions are one of them. It's either the Bears or the Browns. Might be the Browns. We might all be in the same boat. Keep ranting, my man. Mark a rebound this week. Yes, probably. If I were to put my money on it, probably. I mean, we have seen a decent bounce from the bottom, but we never hung out at the bottom. It really, I mean, we were back and forth, I should say, at the bottom, but we've never really seen a big bounce that was a lasting bounce. So I think that is coming, and don't get fooled by this. I think we do bounce, and then we come back down. I will be surprised if we have a clean break above the 100-day moving average this week. But, I mean, it looks like with this move in pre-market likely puts us right about the 200-day moving average. So if we break out above that and we see a strong day tomorrow, I would bet on a continued rally. Because if you guys see, let me zoom that back out a little bit more, that pretty much the whole year since the March pandemic, And besides these two periods right here, we followed the 50-day moving average almost to a T, but we have really followed the 100-day moving average. You can see one touch right there. I mean, this was really just only a touch. We only fell under there for like 2 days. We closed under that. So 1, 2, I'll call that 3, 4, barely under there right there. 5, 6, 7 times before we broke under that. And the 50-day moving average was even more significant. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I would say maybe 5, 6, 7, 8. Did fall under right there, 9, and then we were just over it for a brief period. So, these moving averages are very important, and if we break out past the 200-day, that's going to be just a great sign. Confirmed Stafford going to Super Bowl, and Chris, damn, okay. Lions, Jags, Browns, and Texans. Okay, yeah. So I was I missed the Texans. That's surprising. They've never been to the Super Bowl. I feel like they're not a terrible team. Is government bailing them out? How are they losing so much money and keeping this play? It's I mean, they hedged too. So it's like I don't know if you guys have seen like what Cathie Wood's doing or what, some other more publicly, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, but what some other hedge funds are saying they're doing, like Cathie Wood, for an example, she's shorting Ford and GM while she's long on Tesla. So it's a lot of back and forth. Like the people that are short in AMC, it's not that their whole portfolio is in AMC shorts or AMC longs. Like it's usually diversified and balanced out. When it's not, you get Archegos like situations and Melvin Capital, situations, and that's when you see the big implosions or funds like Bill Ackman's that make, turn 27 million into 2.7 billion within a week. So it just depends what the leverage ratio is. I wouldn't expect like the government is bailing them out. I mean, probably not a popular saying right there, but I'm going to keep it real with you guys. I don't think that is happening. I think there's still plenty of liquidity out there in the large cap stocks. Once the large cap stocks come down, like just imagine for a quick second. This is the S&P 500. This is the top 500 companies. Actually, there's 507 companies, I believe, in the S&P 500. And so that's the S&P 500, right? Things really hit the fan for the hedge funds when your Apples of the world start to come down that are relatively unmoved since the start of all of this. Yeah, they came down $12, but I mean, that's hardly a drop in the bucket compared to how much it's up or where the stock's currently at. So once that happens, that's when we could start talking about like the government's, bailing people out. Why are they not covering? But it's going to come down to some kind of catalyst in the markets. And I do want to point out this trade for you guys if you did not see the other videos that were posted today, because I think it's very important and nothing crazy on there. So if you look at the trades, obviously the shorts, you see this on any given day. People don't really go over the Ortex data for the trades that institutions are making. So you do see quite a bit of short-term puts. So you're seeing a lot of February 18th puts. What is that? April 14th, March 4th, March 18th, February 18th, February 18th, April 14th. That's actually a call. April 14th, $20 call. 370 contracts at $165 a piece. That means your break even on that is $21.65 by April 14th. That's significant upside from right here. I mean, people want to I had somebody comment on a video that I made last week, like, hey, we're setting up for a mega bounce. Here's what we'll have, if this and this and this happens, we will see another mega bounce like we did December 17th. And then the day GameStop reported they had their NFT marketplace, that obviously is going to create billions of dollars for GameStop. And that popped AMC and after hours. It was weirdly good timing on that. But you're seeing a lot of longer term calls, right? So if we do take a look, this is really the big one that I wanted to make clear that everybody fully understands and knows about. January 19, 2024, a $3 strike. Call for $1,300 a piece, bought 830 of these for $1.08 million. That's a very large position. That's huge. I mean, they do have a lot of time on it. By 2024, they're break even $16, but that's a $1 million trade. Just your say, if you could average 3% in a dividend stock, like hedge funds take in their time value into consideration. So if it took like a year to go to $16 to break even, that was still a losing trade, no matter what you put it. So that's still, implying pretty substantial upside just from that. But that's a $1 million trade. That's crazy. Squeeze before March? Could be. I mean, every AMC YouTuber will be out of a job soon. Good thing YouTube is not my job. It's my passion project, brother. It's my passion project. This is what I love to do. I don't make most of my money from this. I own rental properties. We could talk about real estate and rentals, what you need to do to get into rentals, how you can get a house for $0 down, and how you can buy one house every single year for 3 to 5% down. We can talk about that instead of 20% every year for a rental property. Gets a lot of hype for being expensive when it's actually very, very inexpensive to be a landlord. Just don't be a slumlord. We could talk about that if you want to. That's my main source of income. I also have another job. And I do a lot of other different various things on top of that. But YouTube is my favorite. It's my passion project. Theory on loose predictions. I watched, dude, oh my God. What is good? What's going on? Wait until interest rates go up. Hedgies will shit themselves. Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, it's kind of starting to be priced in. But as we can see from let's pull it up. This is a tool you guys can use. Fed rate hike monitor investing.com. This is going to dictate the markets and how they move a lot. So, and that's the crazy thing too. We have a lot of time. We have 6 weeks, 2 days, 14 hours, and 32 minutes until the next Fed meeting. But we have the inflation data, the CPI numbers that come out February 10th, and then February 10th and March 10th. So two inflation readings before we get the Fed meeting and another speech from Fed Jerome Powell and a press conference with questions and all of that. That's March 16th. So the next two CPI readings are going to be very important. But yeah, like I was saying, Lou, I mean, he said something like the end of AMC. That was like the title. And I watched the video, and I don't watch his videos too often. But I actually watched the whole thing, and I got no context on what the title meant. It sounded like he was bullish. But from somebody that doesn't watch his videos, I clicked on that video. By the end of it, I was very confused why the title was like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not exactly sure what he's been saying because I'm not going to watch 10 videos a day to try to figure out the concept. I do think he's funny. He's definitely got his place. But, when it comes down to an unpopular opinion, Lou is not he's not been in the markets for a long time. So take it with a grain of salt. You can do the whole, hey me, bro, hey, believe me, bro. But, I mean, if you haven't been in the markets for a long time, I've been in the market since 2017. A lot of influencers in AMC community, they just haven't been. More people are, I give Matt Kors and Trey Trades the utmost respect for saying they got into the markets in 2020. most respect in the world for saying that, because that would, some people would look at that like, hey, you've only been in the markets for the good years, like the last 2 years, compared to somebody that's been in the markets for a long time. So, it I think a lot of it's just the trust me, bro, type deal. It makes me, but nothing wrong with what Lou does. I think he's funny. I personally like him, but as far as like being a knowing your shit, being an investor, being able to say, I just don't know. And I don't know what his theory is now. I heard people say that he was gonna stop making AMC videos. It really doesn't come down to any one person, though. Oh, have you seen Ape Father's vids? No. Now I want to, because you said that. Yeah, I heard he was convicted for something. And that's all. I mean, we've all got in trouble before. I'm sure we've all been in some form of legal trouble one way or the other. Doesn't really matter all too much, but if you've been in the markets for a while, you can tell who knows about the markets and who doesn't. No, I seen Matt had gotten to the markets in 2020. He said that on the documentary with Lisa Sue. Matt and Trey got into the markets in 2020. Lou said he's been in since the 80s. Jordan, you're not understanding what I'm saying. I like Lou. Utmost respect for him. That's all fine. But if you've been in the markets, I've only been in the markets since 2017. So, like, I've seen this is my fourth downtrend in the markets in a substantial way. Watch my portfolio get clapped. I can tell by what people say if they've been in the markets for a long time. If you haven't been in the markets for a while, you'll believe, the crazy shit that comes out of people's mouths. That's fine. Everybody starts somewhere, and I encourage every single one of you guys, everybody in the world, to stay committed to the process. It's not all glamorous and glory, but eventually you will thank yourself for it. But it's not about Lou personally. I know what he says. A lot of what he says is bullshit. I've come on now. I could go on and on and on about what is not true. And that goes for a lot of other people too. New York Angelo don't know half the shit of what he's saying. He doesn't know what he's saying either. So it's like, it's not an attack on Lou. It's not an attack on Angelo. I mean, I wouldn't put this out on a video for a lot of people to see, but if you're coming to these streams every day, I hope you guys expect to hear the raw and honest truth. That's just the respect I want to give you guys. Am I going to go fight with people and divide the community? No, but if 80, 100 of you guys are here every single day, I'm going to give you guys my honest opinions. And hopefully you guys respect that. Oh, Al from Boston. What happened to Lou from Boston? Or Al from Boston? Keep seeing a lot of Lou hater. I'm honestly not. I honestly like the guy. But December, November. See, they're all kind of the same. Yeah, but I would certainly watch the like I was saying about this tool, investing.com Fed rate monitor tool. And you should watch if you want to get a gauge of what's going to happen. Markets are going up or down. This updates about every 15 minutes if there's changes. So you can see, once this, 1.25% to 1.5%, 37% of people expect that to be the rate by December 14th, 2022. If that starts to go up and say 1.5 to 1.75 becomes the top percentage, that's when you're going to start to see markets pricing in a lot of hawkish things, you know. Yo, Tyler, where did you get that light up sign behind you? I've had it for a while, but I think Amazon? Let's focus on money, please. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm done ranting about things. Somebody in here just set me off. I don't even remember the name, to be honest. Can anyone reach out this? Much Beast looks bad for all parties concerned. Hiding 6 billion failures to deliver and never covering again in February. It's going to get ugly. I feel like everybody has called them out. I feel like they get called out every day on Twitter, at least. Yeah, Nasdaq's doing good. Dow's good. S&P. I mean, Dow and S&P are definitely lagging behind, but that's what's gonna happen. Once we do bounce, the Nasdaq is going to bounce the hardest because most of the Nasdaq stocks are down huge. Oh no, hey bro, appreciate your takes and opinions. Keep it real and let people decide what's up with the info presented. Yeah, and that's just what, you know, I would personally want is somebody that just doesn't care, is themselves and gives their opinion. So that's what I try to do, but you know, it might rub people the wrong way, and it's not personal. If I say anything about somebody else, you know, I would expect somebody to call me out if I didn't know what I was talking about, or if I didn't know something, or if I was wrong. If I'm spreading false information, I would want somebody to call me out. So I guess that's all what I'm going to say on that. But I would hope I would get that same respect. That's like my little like goatee looking thing down here. Being a pig, you get some sauce in there. I don't want to walk around with sauce on my face all day and go introduce myself to some fucking hot 10 and I got sauce on my face. I would hope your friend or your mom, whoever the hell you're with, tells you, hey, you got a little something right there. Same logic. Ben D, Super Chat mad doesn't go live because the Super Chats have died down. Yes, I mean, yeah. Super live streams don't pay. I mean, they pay like me. I might get like 2,000 or 3,000 clicks and it pays like $2. Compared to like videos, 2,000-3,000 views right now will likely give you like 20 bucks. Ad rates have fallen a lot. So like 15, 20 bucks ish around there. Which it's not worth it unless you like to do it, you know. So live streams, you just gotta like to do it, I guess. You want something to do a duty plunge on protection team. You'll uncover the truth of what's going on. Interesting. Nice call on Apple pulling the market up Friday, though. It was a good call. What are futures looking like? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Apple is just such a huge company, but futures are looking really good. Up a third of a percent, almost a third of a percent on the Nasdaq. S&P and Dow are hardly positive. S&P up 0.11%, Dow up 0.06%. So it's not like a strong move, but certainly starting off a week of earnings like we're going to see this upcoming week is a good sign. Tuesday, Apple after hours, AMD after hours, Starbucks, GM, PayPal, all in after hours. Wednesday, Facebook in after hours. Thursday, Amazon, Ford, and Snapchat in after hours. So I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity there, a lot of volatility, a lot of potential to make trades. But Xella, what is Xella? What is Xella? Heard Australia is up. Oh yeah, let me look. Comes in EU. Oh yeah, I mean things are not looking too bad as of right now. 1.87% on the Kospi index, ASX 200 up 0.08, HSI 1.43, Nikkei up about 1%. So looking good. looking pretty good across the board. I believe ASX is the what's this, the Australian exchange, I believe. Might be wrong. So it'd be cool. So why do you think tomorrow will be a big green day? I mean, just what futures are telling us right now, and we don't have any big earnings. So unless there is a new development, that's when you see the markets really sell off. I mean, you can see that happen just because people want to sell the strength, but to see a big down day, you need something new. Think about how hard the markets have sold off in a short amount of time. This is almost the worst January we have ever had in the history of the stock market. It's right up there, very, very close. So we've been pricing in a lot of very hawkish things. Tomorrow, we don't have any data coming out. We don't have any major earnings. We have a couple companies here and there, but we don't have your large cap stocks that move the index until Tuesday. I do think tomorrow, odds are, if I were to put on red or my money on red or black, I would say we're definitely going to have a green day. And those green days are likely to be big volatility. We have big down days. We're going to have big up days. But is it possible we totally flip and have a big down day? Sure it is. I mean, people have a lot of information to digest over the weekend, but $6 calls for March. That's possibly, yeah. I could actually look at it. I mean, positive order flow overall over the past day was only 20%, but it was not very many orders that were going in. Over the past 1 week was 59% positive orders, with 160 orders totaling $102.07 million. So we are looking more positive on the option order flow than not, and these are not your retail investors. These are only large orders that are like 30,000 and higher. You won't find anything that's less than 30,000 on here. So, well, 27, pretty much 28,000 right there, 29,000, all in one order too. These are just big, large orders. But it looks like to me people are buying a lot of the longer dated cheap, well, not cheap calls, but relatively speaking, kind of cheap. Like, see right here, January 24th. That was when these block trades were placed. But for January 19th, 2024 expirations, 2 of them back to back, we have $3 calls, both of them, same trade. But one had 416 options bought. The other one had 208 options bought. The price, $1,315. So that break even is $16.15 over here. About 40 cents cheaper than that, so like $15.50 roughly. But all in all, that's like $820,000 of 2024 $3 calls. And you could see those, as you keep going down and looking into it. A lot of them look very short term though. I could see, but I don't think we're in a full risk on situation yet. Superstock is drives, but no one seems to be an AMC stock. No, not sure. Julie Miller. Let's go, baby. Yeah, the SPY looks like it trades sideways with some ups and downs that create trading opportunities. Yeah, a lot of trading opportunities, but just very hard to I mean, it's been interesting. Like, I bought a PayPal call because PayPal was looking great. The markets just came straight down. Literally clockwork. Like, I couldn't have timed the trade worse. Like, there was no timing the trade worse. What was that, on Friday? And it was a next week call. Couldn't have timed it worse. Markets just sold off. Like, I probably bought it like right here. Went up a little bit. And then the markets just continue to fall. And then I was down on that like quite substantially because it was shorter term. I was just looking for a 5 to 10% profit and get out, just a scalp instantly turned against me. But I'm like, hey, the markets look pretty bullish today. We might see a strong close. And that's exactly what happened. Markets rallied. PayPal went positive, but not all too much. It was only positive like 20%. Still not a bad daily return, but, you know, you just got to be careful. Watch out for those end of the day rallies or full off liquidations. Tomorrow is going to be more important, though, to watch that because, you know, we do have those big earnings on Tuesday. So that's going to be key. But what I'm looking to do, what I'm thinking about doing, considering the ad rates and what they've done, is maybe going long on Facebook, short on Snapchat, or like buying puts on Snapchat, buying calls on Facebook, or vice versa, buying puts on Facebook, buying calls on Snapchat to hedge out, you know, one or the other. I think both of them are going to move big in one direction or the other. If that happens, I would win on the trade. If it doesn't, I would lose. But not spending crazy amounts. Like, I would look to get more time on it. But the ad rates have really slowed down. And I think Facebook, I mean, they have fallen a lot. But, like, me personally, I don't know very many people that are as active on Facebook now as they were. And considering what YouTube ad rates are doing, I can only imagine for Facebook, too. But then again, your downside's probably only to like 260, if that. 280 probably would be the lowest. But it could be good. Down for real snap is already pretty low, ain't it? Oh yeah, I'm a huge Snap bull. I think Snap for the long term is great, but in the meantime, you know, Snapchat tends to go up on earnings. I hit big trades on Snapchat over the past couple of years. I mean, I've hit almost every earnings that I've played on Snapchat. I've hit a good trade. If not, what I like to do is Snapchat will tend to go up and Twitter will tend to go down every single time. And the correlation there is like AMD and Intel. When AMD reports, I can just play Intel for a lot cheaper because they don't have earnings and the premiums are not baking in expectations for earnings. You can play Intel, you know, to the downside and Snapchat for the upside. And there's always, you know, Snapchat's up 10%, Twitter's down 10%. It's clockwork. But, you know, I hit this trade right here when Snapchat earnings and the company did very well. October 20th, 2020, hit over 1,000% return right here. Stock went from 28 to, you know, like 45 3 days later. It was great. But Snapchat's one of those. I would bet on it going up. But could it come down if they have weak guidance? Sure. Facebook is in the same boat. I like Snapchat for the long term. Like, how many people do you know that, like, kids? Like, if you have kids, pay attention to this because Wall Street don't get it. If you have kids, pay attention to what they do. You know, like Crocs, right? Crocs used to be a $4 stock. When your kids were asking for Crocs for Christmas a couple years ago, you know, you should have looked at the stock. Like March of 2020, it hit $8.40 and it hit a high of $183 2 years later. That's ridiculous. Like, that's over a 10x. That's a, 15x ish, right? Or over a 20x, something crazy like that. My math skills, I mean, it's been a long day, okay? But huge gains. So pay attention to what kids are doing. And kids, they're not on Facebook. They're on Snapchat and group chats and shit. Yeah, I personally don't own any. But, you know, same thing for Yeti, too. Actually, my mom was, bought a share of Yeti, and, like, she doesn't invest. She's like, I bought some Yeti. I'm like, why'd you buy Yeti? Because I'm, like, naive. Like, down here, it's $17 she bought it. Like, one single share. I'm like, why'd you buy Yeti? She's like, because everybody uses Yeti. You haven't heard? Like, everybody's got a fucking Yeti coffee cup. I'm like, huh. Okay. So then I bought some, in this range, 17 to 20. Stock went up to 108. Like, pay attention to what kids are doing, what the people are doing, because Wall Street, they're in their own little fucking bubble. They all make good money, so they don't pay attention to what the average people are doing, what they're buying. A lot of opportunities there. Snapchat, definitely one of them. But I'll probably play Twitter to the downside. Let's see if this correlates. What was this? This was October 20th, 2020. Let's pull up Twitter. I believe they have the correlation then too. Oh, huh. What is this right here? Literally, what day is that? Snapchat must have reported on a Friday. What they reported. But look, just straight gap down. Like, they move in sync. Snapchat gaps up October. Twitter falls in October. It's like just clockwork. But Twitter is in the ground, though. Everything's in the ground. That's what's hard. I mean, don't take my word, because I could flip it, and at any second I might just go long in all of them if they're all doing good. But advertisers, from what I've seen, they're not doing so hot. Actually, let me look. Let me look at the Google Trends. What are futures doing? Futures, yeah, they're looking pretty damn beautiful, to say the least. Could be some good opportunities there with some short-term calls. But if you do trade the short-term calls, just get in, get out. Like, if you're in the buy and sell alerts group right now, I know Vlog is. Like, if I call out a trade and it's a winning trade, feel free to take profits at any time. Like, I'm good at getting in trades, not so good at getting out of them at the right time. But, I mean, I guess you don't have to. As long as you get out a profit. Hopefully no one can ever be sure. Yeah. Up or down? Up or down? If I were to guess, a total just guess here, probably up. Oh, what the hell, dude? That's not what I wanted. Okay. Facebook ads. Actually going up a little bit, but still it's been in a downtrend though, going from average of 93 in August 2021, 60s, 80s, 90s, 60s, 70s, 50s, 60s, hit a low of 46 November 21st through the 27th. This could give you a glimpse because this is Q4, right? So we peaked out September 26th through October 2nd, Google searches for Facebook ads. And we were on a decline ever since. So this could suggest, that Facebook maybe had a little bit less ad revenue in Q4. Starting to go up just a little bit of a tick there. But usually, Facebook ads are down quite substantially, actually. 5 years. Yeah, look, just down substantially. But the thing is, like, with Apple and all these companies that have reported already, specifically with Apple, they like to sugarcoat shit. That's why they haven't given guidance since 2020. And I think that's why they alluded to it this time. They said, hey, we don't expect crazy revenue growth in the next couple of quarters or in the next quarter, but we do expect, decent growth. And Facebook, the advertisers, I don't think they can actually sugarcoat things a little bit or as much as Apple can. Apple's used to not giving guidance. I think Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, Google, just all of these advertisement-based companies could be really good trades. As far as what we're seeing on Google Trends, It's going to come down to if management is honest about guidance. If they want to take the hit in share price now or if they want to on the next earnings report. That's what it comes down to. It's either this one or the next one. If they lie on this one, they're going to get clapped off of too high expectations on the next one. So it's going to be interesting. Right inverse head and shoulder on Facebook. Oh, Facebook is just terrible. Facebook is like one of the most underperforming FANGs there is. I believe it is the most underperforming FANG. It went from 383 August 30th. It peaked out. Now at 301. I mean, it went to like 288 too. Most large cap stocks are not doing this bad. Surprisingly, but it does. It certainly does. I think to put $100 on it, why not? $100 could turn into, if Facebook is down 10 or 15, 20% like we see with Netflix, highly unlikely, probably a 5% chance that happens, but $100 could turn into 3, 4, 5 grand very fast if Facebook did see a drop like that. So risk to reward, I think it looks pretty good given the turbulence, but I would get more time on it, probably go with the March 18th contracts. February 18th, maybe if I'm feeling a little crazy. Probably not though. Check BBIG though. There's Ortex status 100% utilized and like 30% short interest. But yeah, advertisers clapped. Oh, that's that's Venco Ventures. Let's see the options. So this actually has more negative inflows. You can see positive order value of 43% over the past week. AMC's at 59%. So if you compare them like that, I mean, it doesn't look as hot. Some pretty large institutional flows though. Quite a few calls here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 calls. Some of the puts are just so large though. 500,000 orders right there. What's the shorts at? Like you said, 32.14%. Yeah, cost to borrow max 354%. What the fuck? What is going on with BBIG? Yeah, bro, I got $100 tomorrow. Let's turn it into 5K. Yeah, it doesn't exactly happen all too often, but it's called a black swan, like a black swan event. Netflix seen one of those. Nobody expected Netflix to drop 20%. If Facebook comes out and says, yeah, we've seen a dramatic decrease in advertiser spending, if they're honest, because I know they have. If Google has seen that and other reporters in the finance space are saying, hey, the ad rates are down 35%. I've never seen this in my 4 or 5 years making finance YouTube videos, which, I mean, I haven't been around that long, but I've noticed like, whoa, that's crazy. That's a crazy difference. So people are not paying as much. It comes down to, are they going to be honest and do they want to take the stock hit now or on the next earnings when they set too high of expectations? I think Apple is just, they like to sugarcoat shit, but yeah, that's a crazy cost to borrow. Share utilization 100%. Cost to borrow 85. Jeez. Does BBIG even have options though? I know a lot of people talk about it. Yeah, they do. I know a lot of people talk about BBIG, but it's just, I don't know. Scalp Fang, easy. Yeah, Facebook's notorious for clapping me, though. I always lose when I bet on Facebook. And it paid off his first venture from selling overpriced AMC candy. Oh, damn. Set to squeeze, in my opinion. The data does look good, certainly. Can't fault that. Yeah, S&P, Dow's getting a little green boost right there on the futures. Bond yields are going up, though. The 10-year Treasury That's interesting, actually. What are the Asian markets doing? Yeah, Nikkei was at 0.98% when we just looked at it. Now it's at 1.46%. So that's going up quite dramatically. Everything else is going up steady, but the Nikkei is doing really good. I think that's what the Japan markets, I believe. I could tell you, but yeah, that's the Japan markets. I could tell you about the chart. Pew. Like Japan went through the biggest bubble of all time. BBIG. Yeah, if I were to trade BBIG, I would just throw a small option on it. Like, I wouldn't go crazy on it, but it depends on the business behind the company, because I don't know anything about BBIG, to be honest. I know nothing. I don't even know what it does or what it's supposed to do. But if they don't have profits, or at least have a strong balance sheet, just good things going for them on a fundamental basis, then it's not going to be rewarded that well, BBY 38%. Yeah, I think you're going to see a secular rotation into a lot of these stocks that are just down a lot. Like the small and mid caps that have super high short interest that are just clapped. Definitely. I mean, that's going to happen. Free 99 like button. Smack that ass. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, no. I mean, Facebook did drop their last earnings, which was in October. I was actually looking at an article, and yeah, I don't have it pulled up anymore, but Facebook did drop about 5% their last earnings, and they do typically see a bigger reaction, because I mean they're just advertiser based, so it can be a more volatile income. But yeah, see, 1 week on Facebook, positive order value 56%, 213 orders totaling 7.11 billion. Put to call ratio 0.75. What's the insiders doing? Nothing? Are you gonna tell me? Well, looks like they're all selling. Since the start of the year, nothing but sells, which is pretty typical, but why is it not bringing the damn chart up? Yeah, see, that's not good. Come on, bring the damn chart up. Fucking Ortex. We running up tomorrow? It definitely looks like it. Why is it just taking forever? When's the last? Okay, geez, about damn time. Yeah, see, when you see all of these cells, I mean, usually not a good sign. Like if you look at Facebook right now, all of these cells. Oh shit, what'd I do? Over this past 6 months, people were selling it. The stock was at like 300 just the last week, and yeah, some people do get paid in stock, whatever, but not one single buy in the last 6 months from insiders. Take something like Sana. I really like this feature on Ortex. They make it very easy to see. But no, it's not a Sana then. What is it? There's yeah, where's the fucking no. Yeah, no, this ain't right. This ain't right. 500,000 shares bought. Like this, the fucking the founder, Dustin Moskovitz, he buys like shares every other day.
Like 250,000 shares January 4th. 500,000 shares bought January 6th. 500,000 bought January 7th. 250,000 bought January 10th. 500,000 shares January 13th. Like the list goes on and on. So I don't know why it's just bringing up the sells here, but these are, I mean, their majority of this is all buys. Basically the whole thing is buys. But yeah, if you're looking at the companies in that aspect, like Facebook, then I think it tells you something. YouTube, the top 5 biggest crashes in history. Everything makes sense to be honest. Crash. Oh, crashes are great. I love times of volatility. I mean, you could pick up stocks in March that were just crazy undervalued. I mean, just crazy. Like I remember I bought Dave and Buster's. I bought a lot of cruise lines because I'm like, cruise lines, airlines. I'm like, yeah, sure, they might be down for a little while, but are we really gonna go without airplanes or cruise lines? I didn't see that. So I mean, bought the stocks. Literally 2 or 3 months later, they were up over 100%. Like you just get so many discounts. I mean, and you could have bought Snapchat at $10 back then, too. I think I bought a little bit of that. I bought Yeti. Should have bought Crocs looking back at it. But, what do you think the SPY is going to do tomorrow? Can you take a quick look at the SPY futures real quick? Finally, what are your thoughts on Russia-Ukraine shit show? Do you think war is likely? Market dump. If war does break out, people are talking about a possible 10 to 15% move to the downside. And that would shoot up oil. That would shoot up inflation expectations because a big part of inflation reading, CPI numbers, is oil. I believe like 20%, could be wrong there, but a significant portion. So in a lot of different ways, without getting too far into a rant with it, it would definitely cause the markets to go down in some kind of substantial way. But will it happen? I mean, it kind of sounds like it will, but it'll probably happen after the Olympics, if it were to happen. When are the Olympics, actually? But yes, Safe Algo Ape. I do stream every night 10 to 11 p.m. I should say Sunday night through Thursday night. So the only days we don't are Friday and Saturday because futures aren't open and people like to, do their thing and enjoy the weekends. But yeah, every day, 5 days in a row. Do you ever play the wheel strategy? Not too often because you just have a lot going on with that. But it just, kind of depends. Like I have done it before. I have did well with it. But it might actually, it might work decently well right now too. I'll actually look to see if that would make sense right now. But I feel like we have one more big drawdown in a larger stock still. I doubt it's AMD. I doubt it's really Snapchat at this point. I think it's probably going to be in the advertisement sector. I really think it's Facebook. Could be wrong. But I think they have the most to lose too because they have like they have different things they have to beat on, like the user growth. People want to still see user growth at Facebook, and I don't use Facebook as much as I used to even a couple months ago. So if I'm not using it as much, I'm sure other people aren't. I think there is still a big move down left to come. But what was I gonna look up? sold at 500 and market within a market. Before it breaks out, good natural gas and oil stocks. Yeah, oil would go crazy. Oil's already making a move too. Oh yeah. I mean, shit. If the market's really, oh man, if they just continue to come down, I'm going shopping. It's gonna be great. Thank you for all the work you do on this passion project. Us apes appreciate it. I appreciate you, brother. You brought positive vibes mostly. Would be I've never used Facebook. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. 26 streams in a row, baby. Let's go. Oh, first time live with me. Let's go. I feel like you've been here before. You fit in good. The number of natural gas and oil supply. Europe, the price in oil and gas will go. Yeah, about 1/3 of Europe's oil supply and natural gas supply comes from Russia. That's why, like, Germany is not. They won't commit to fighting Russia or like backing Ukraine. But is that actually going to happen? I've seen like the simulations, and it would cost both sides a lot. But Russia sounds a little bit more serious now. We are like sending troops over there. That's a whole crazy situation. Really don't want to be a part of that. Zella. It's like Zelda. Does anybody know what Zelda is? I'm sure you guys know what Zelda is. MySpace account once upon a time. Bearish landscape right now. TikTok, your Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google. Yeah, the FANG. I mean, Facebook is. I mean, Netflix is down a lot. I mean, they're all down a lot, actually. Besides Apple. Apple's doing decent. I think Google's doing decent, but I believe they're down a little bit, too. Oh, geez, this stock's just. I mean, if it's a good business model, it doesn't. I mean, if I were you, I would just try to figure out what's going on with it. Why is it just going down so much without a short interest increasing? That's what I'm kind of confused about. Wigzella? I don't know how to say that. Like, yeah, it did pop, but this thing went just straight down from 3 to 35, 34 cents. That's insane. It's getting the volume, but which, I mean, this day right here was 130 million for volume, and this smaller day was 182 million for volume, which is interesting, but that was still a 33% gain. That's ridiculous. That was a 51% gain. What the hell? Zelda, go. I feel about Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi owning $20 million in AMC. I think a lot of people toss that around, but they own like a mutual fund that owns AMC in it. So technically, are they AMC owners? Like, sure, but did they decide? Like, did they decide to buy AMC for a reason we don't know about? I mean, I'm not convinced of that because they would have just bought the stock. But last I knew, they don't own the stock. They just own the fund. To the news, they're going to do a buyback. Yeah, I mean, if your share price did that, That's what a lot of people are talking about too. A lot of companies with a lot of cash are going to do buybacks, and that might save Facebook. I actually, when you say that, is Facebook is doing has a buyback schedule. I think they buy back like $500 million or $1 billion per quarter in stock or something along those lines. I know it's a high amount because they have like 80% gross profit margins. Facebook is a cash cow. Safe algo ape, let's go, baby. Let's go. Appreciate you, brother. Keep fiat handy for the fiat handy for the dips. If we go to war, I'm buying a little of everything the day after. Oh, that would be crazy. Oh my gosh. Just imagine that. That's just not. Puts on NASDAQ, calls on 20-year treasury. That's an interesting call. I mean, at this point, it definitely wouldn't surprise me to see a bounce. But in theory, the TLT should go down. No, yeah, it should go up. I was confused. Or no, it should go down. Yeah, it should go down a little bit. Should go down a little bit as rates do go up. So I was right the first time. It should go down a little bit. But, I mean, how low? That's the question. 137 before. I mean, there's not much room to go down on that. Bonds are crazy. I mean, you can make a lot of money playing bonds, but to try to predict what they're going to do, like, you got to get a lot of time on bonds to trade them. Appreciate you and your content. Hold strong and buy the dips. This the way it is known. It is. I mean, they have to cover. And I know it sounds like, yeah, they have to cover. I know people have been saying that forever, but I mean, that is the reality of the hedge fund situation. It's not looking so hot for them. Facebook, Facebook's a cash cow, but I hate Facebook. Tired of these red days. Dang. It looks like tomorrow should be good. I mean, NASDAQ's up 0.39%. So it does look good. Can you explain how others know the price at which hedge funds have entered their AMC shorts? Also, theoretically, if they begin to cover as something like $12, we should technically begin to see it rocket. Yeah. As far as when entered their AMC shorts, that's a very hard thing to say because rarely will you see hedge funds actually disclose their short positions because they legally don't have to. So if it's like a big fund, let me show you guys. Like Boston Partners long/short equity fund institutional. How big is this fund? See, I mean, it's only $42.5 million, so that's a smaller one, not a great example. But some firms, and they don't like hardly ever disclose them, but 67 million, yeah, bad examples. But usually the bigger hedge funds, like, they don't report their short positions. It's 292 million, still relatively small, but a couple here and there do, and then you can see roughly what they paid. It's still an estimate, but like $36, $39, $3. I don't know how true that one is. That would just be bad luck. That would just be like stupid but bad luck at the same time. You shorted the stock at $3. Come on. Like JP Morgan, yeah, motherfuckers. $2.5 billion. But I mean, it's really just a guessing game, honestly. You can kind of imagine though that off the price action that there was probably a lot of shorting in these ranges. There was a lot of shorting down here, and shorts didn't cover for the most part in June. So have they covered a little bit along the way? Possible, but AMC tomorrow. Targets for AMC tomorrow / the rest of the week. I think tomorrow could be a really bullish day as long as we don't get any overseas news that upsets the markets or something along those lines. And then, Tuesday, once you start to see Google, PayPal, AMD, Starbucks, GM, those companies reporting, I think that'll set the mood for the markets. If earnings are good, guidance is good, I think we could rally. My price prediction was $17 is really what I thought. But it wouldn't surprise me to be as high as $18.50 or $20 if we have a really just straight risk on week and all earnings are good. Would not surprise me to go to 20, honestly. The present data, if the legislation is passed, what happens if it hits zero? Theoretically, if it hits zero, I mean, they would. I mean, they would just make all the money, but the stock's not gonna hit zero unless like the business is bankrupt, like going like underwater. So I don't like that's not really possible, because I don't believe AMC would just go under that easy. But I mean, we've seen crazy shit happen, so I shouldn't say it's like impossible, but. What they cover slowly, it's like human nature, right? So like same way people, by and large, they buy stocks once the price goes up. Dogecoin went up, crypto went up, stock market's up. People want to buy stocks then. They don't really want to buy stocks on the downside. So it's the same thing with shorts. Like when the things are great in the markets, shorts don't want to cover as the stock is going down. Most of the time, it's just human psychology, emotions, and all that, unless it's a trading algorithm. But I mean, typically not for longer duration shorts. Trading algorithms are more like quant hedge funds that are day trading and doing all that. But anyways, when the stock's going down and they're winning on a position, they don't feel as inclined to cover, because specifically with when you're shorting stocks and the direct stock, you can only make 100%. So if you short a stock at 20, it goes to zero. Cool, you made the difference. It's not like buying puts or even buying calls where you get a little bit more money and it's time related. It's not that common. You see shorts collectively, by and large, getting out slowly as the price of the stock goes down. More often than not, it's when they're all winning and they're all happy with their trades, their shorts, and then boom, the stock's up 15% or 10% because there's a good catalyst, or just the market sentiment starts to push money into those stocks and drive a stock like AMC up. Then it's like, oh shit, we should probably cover on this because now we're starting to lose. So it's hedge funds, institutions, they get FOMO too. Like, their emotions fuck with them too. Crypto to cover their margins. Oh, definitely crypto. Yeah, have you ever noticed the correlation between AMC, GME, and the crypto market? Oh, certainly. Yeah, there's like the markets rally towards the end of the day on Friday. So did crypto over this weekend. Crypto has moved up just a little bit. It's not quite at the bottom levels. It's went up a couple $100. It came down a little bit before I started the live stream, though. Let me see. Because I actually did buy some Ethereum. I actually did buy half a coin of Ethereum. So what's Ethereum doing? Damn, yeah, it's going down a little bit. It's going down right now. But it was in the 2,600 range. Had recovered a little bit. not a big recovery though as far as crypto's concerned. Yeah, I mean 2100, 2200 to 2600, not bad. Yeah, crypto jumped later in the day today. Yeah, I seen that. I'm like, what? Because I think I'm averaged with my half coin of Ethereum at like 2370, 2380, something like that. So I'm like, damn, it's already going down. But yeah, I think Ethereum long term goes to 25,000 or more. Are you not buying Mana XLM Shib? I just don't know as much about them, to be honest. Like, they all have obvious, like, all coins have their drawbacks and their positives, but I think like Ethereum, I think Ethereum is going to do better and recover better than other coins that don't have as many actual uses. And that's a very, it could vary from people to people. Some people probably use a lot of Mana or SHIB or whatever in whatever they do, but by and large, like Ethereum with NFTs, things like that, I think it'll do well over time. Smart contracts, all of that. I just went straight to Ethereum again. Bitcoin. So, during these risk off attitudes and situations, then I don't really want to gamble all too much unless it's like a really micro coin that I could put like $100 in and it could 100x or something, just stupid opportunities. Then sure, I don't see those coins doing that, if that makes sense. So it's like not worth it to me personally on a risk to reward basis. Crypto market is a rug pull waiting to happen. Big old domino effect, either U.S. or China from a crash. That would not be good. I mean, if crypto goes, people, I mean, I've seen quite a few people that said they were buying the dip. All right, we are over schedule, baby, but it's always a pleasure to hang out with you guys and chat with you guys. So thank you for watching. If you guys want access to all the trades, like we say all the time, linked in the description of this video. We're off to the races tomorrow. Hopefully it's going to be a good week. Hopefully it's a good week for all of you guys. But thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening to my rants and all that good stuff. So thank you. You guys enjoy the rest of your